Welcome to day 2 of SketchUp. If you watched the previous video, you would know how to access Google SketchUp. Hopefully you did, to get a little background on the tools and layout of the program. As you can see, we were in a traditional internet browser. I searched Google SketchUp. Click on SketchUp here. I can go to Try SketchUp. Primary and secondary education over on the right. Get started. I am a student. And launch. Remember, if it asks you for a sign-in, you can sign in with your Shen Schools email. Program needs to load a lot of information, so it may take a few minutes, especially on your Chromebook. Reminder, when you get into this program, in the top left, when you go to Create New, you want to use feet and inches. I don't believe there are any projects we will do in class that require anything different than feet and inches. Also a reminder, when you're into the program, Google SketchUp always creates a person for scaling. Simply click on that and you can hit delete or backspace depending on the machine you are working on. What we're going to do for this first design, because the intro was just giving you the background on the toolbar, which is off to the left. The first design we are going to create is a one-room structure. I'm going to go down and click on the rectangle tool. Remember, if I hover over the tool long enough, it will show me what that tool's name is. You can see that there are 2 points on this image, so it is a 2-point rectangle. I'm going to start at the origin, which is 0, 0 as far as coordinates. I'm going to click once, and then I'm going to click again. When I do that, I don't know the actual shape of this. As a reminder, you can click and drag when you use the cursor tool and delete out your shape. So the 2-point rectangle, if I want to know the specific size, again, clicking once in the origin, you can look in the bottom right corner, right down here, and you see the dimensions. So what I want to do is I want to make a 20-foot by 20-foot square. So what I'm going to do is I've still only clicked once. I can still click again. Before I do that, I'm going to type in 20, and you'll see that box in the bottom left or bottom right corner. 20 foot, which is the apostrophe, comma, 20 foot. Enter. You'll see in the bottom right corner, it has said 20 feet by 20 feet. That's what that comma stands for. That is the other dimension. And I have that square available. Remember, at the bottom left is where your hand, which is the hand, so that's click and drag to move your screen. Select it again, and you have your orbit, which is right here. Rotating is the key feature in modeling software. Now, a traditional house or building, just like the one you're in right now, has walls that have thickness. Usually it is a 2x4 or a 2x6 wall. All right? So what you're going to do is you're going to use the tool called Offset. Remember, you hover over the tools to select it. And I'm going to offset this outside edge. You can see how I can highlight that area. And I'm going to offset, again in the bottom right, you see the size changing. I'm going to say it's going to be 6 inches, which is the quotation mark. So that offset created another square 6 inches from the original 20 foot by 20 foot. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click the offset tool again, because inside of there is the push-pull command. This tool allows me to extrude my shapes. If you look closely, you can see that the dots appear in the area it wants to select. I want to select the outside 6-inch wall. I'm going to click it once. I can drag and I can click again to set it, but I want my distance to be a specific height. I want it to be 8 feet. Remember, feet is the apostrophe, inches is the quotation. Then I click enter, and now it is set for 8 feet. I can use the rotate around tool to see the inside, and you can see I have created a 20 foot by 20 foot by 8 foot tall box. So it's kind of looking like I have that one room. As we explained in the start of the bedroom activity, is that there needs to be a way for you to get into your bedroom. So there needs to be a door placed in this structure. Even if there is no physical door with a door frame, you will still have an opening leading to your bedroom. At least we all hope you'll have an entryway leading towards your bedroom. So I'm going to go and use this 2-point rectangle again. And I need to make sure I select the correct work plane. We see how it is highlighted in green with a little rectangle there, which means I am going to be drawing on the correct plane. You see that the cursor says on edge. So I'm going to click once for that 2-point rectangle. Again, I have my sizes down here. So I'm still on this green axis. I have not clicked the second time. I'm going to type 2 dimensions here. I'm going to say that it is going to be 3 feet, which is the width, a 3-foot wide door, so it's going to be 36 inches, which is somewhat of a standard for a door. And then I'm going to hit comma, so 3 foot by, I'm going to say 6 foot 6 inches. Enter. So this is a oversized door as far as interior doors go, but it's very good for moving furniture in and out. Once I've created that space there, I can simply go through, click on the push-pull command again, select the inside of that door. You see how it's highlighted with the texture. Click once, and there are 2 ways to do this. Like in any modeling software, there are many ways to do the same process. I can just extend up to the top, and you see how it says on edge, and I click, and now you see that it has cut directly through that 6-inch wall. Or I could use that push-pull command. I might need to rotate around before I get there to be able to see. Push-pull, click, and I could see that I just extended enough into the open area. As I said before, rotating around is a key to this modeling program. Now I'm going to create some different windows in here. Based on the laws of construction, is something called egress, which is emergency evacuation. And that means doors, windows, and all buildings have to have certain measurements to them, minimum or maximum sizes, to be in line with egress requirements. For this modeling software and your first design, we're going to allow you to do whatever size doors and windows you want to put in here. This is just a sample to get you to understand the program a little bit more. So you need to have one door, and you must have a window on 3 of the 4 walls. So as you can tell, I have a door and a window on one wall. So now I need to have 2 more walls with windows. Feel free to do any shape you want. You can do circles. Feel free to make the box look like Swiss cheese if you want to. This is just to get the understanding of how to complete the process. I can draw individual lines if I wanted, at different angles. I need to make sure, though, that this shape is completely enclosed. So we see that. The reason you want to click and make sure that you say that it is on edge is because if I extend past there, you can see what the program did. In the area where there was nothing, it created material. I'm going to use my pan tool, and that is something we do not want. So we want to make sure we just go to that edge. Zoom in, I'm on the push-pull command. There we go, I'm on the edge. Okay? Now I have completed the requirements here. Do not worry about the roof, we will get into that next. You need to make sure you do have this floor. There should be no cuts into the floor. And the last piece that I'm going to show you here is on the right side, you have a bunch of different options. What we're going to do is we are just going to simply, to start, show you the Components tab. You can search the 3D warehouse. So when we're doing our bedroom design, let's say you need to find a full-size bed. I would simply type in full-size bed. Search, and here we go. I have all of these different options. They may not look like your actual bed, but they are the correct size. In most cases, some of the sizing is off because they are created by people like yourself that are just designing in this program. So I can simply place that full-size bed in there. I can move it from different points. This is where the rotating and moving around in the program help. You can also click on these other points and it brings up some different rotational features. If you select off of it, maybe you right click on it, and you can see that there are some different options for you. Okay, I have it selected right now. I can search through these tools here, see if there's a rotate anywhere in here. There we go. Rotate. Click on that bottom piece. If I want to put it on that back wall, I can. Then I would go back, use the move command, and I can move this wherever I would like. All right, and you can add the components, go in and search some different components, create this structure, and we will be informing you on how to submit it.